What's going on? This is Quamon Fowler coming to you, and I got 4 steps. I won't be long at all, but this is 4 steps that you need for productivity. And this can be applied uh, by anybody, if you are a musician or not. This is just 4 good things that you need in order to be productive. So, all right, let's get started. So the first one is to think about it. All right. So a lot of people are so busy. We're so busy with just miscellaneous things that we got to do at home. People calling, distractions from social media, uh, family emergencies, job obligations. That's all these things pulling at us. So a lot of times we don't have time to think, and people don't take the time to think. There's a book, of course, that's popular that a lot of entrepreneurs refer to, and it's Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And I heard Myron Golden say it should have been titled Think and Grow Rich, with an exclamation point, because most people aren't really thinking; they're just reacting, and you can't take control of your life and your circumstances and yourself if you're not thinking about what's really going on. All right. So that's step one. Think. Think about it. All right. Step two is write it down. So now, when I say think about it, I'm talking about think about your life, think about your habits, and think about the results that you're getting. Is this what you want, or do you want something different? And then as you think about what it is that's wrong, then you think about what are the solutions that you can put in place. And that's where you start writing down what would be the solution to the problem I'm having with not having enough time to spend with my family, or not having enough time to practice, or not having um, any gigs. What can I do in order to get more gigs or to be able to play better? So you got to think about what that is and write that down. Okay, so step two is write it down. What I used to do back in the day, and I talk about it in my book, The Christian Musician. I talk about how I would write stuff on my, I would actually type it out in a program, and then I would post my visions on the wall, because I got it from Habakkuk 2:2. It's been so long, but I used to um, reference that because it say write the vision and make it plain, so that he may run that readeth it, for is for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. And so I even did an album called The Vision, and so I was very much a visionary, and um, had ideas and ambitious to do certain things, and I would write those things down, and I would accomplish everything that I had written down. So that's very important. Okay, so think about it, write it down. And step three is actually to do it, to do it. Okay, so you're gonna think about it, you're gonna write it, and then you're gonna do it. What does that look like? So that means, let's say you put together how you gonna write it down. I mean, people write it on uh, reminders in their phone, Google Doc. I like to do Google Doc. I used to do Evernote. However, you got to do it. I also write on my whiteboard as well. I like to write the whiteboard, and so once I have it written, I'll wake up throughout the day and I'll look at it, and then I'll make sure I'm, going to be working on those things that I have on my list that I have written down. And I categorize things into music, um, YouTube, marketing, practicing, or whatever. Everybody's going to look different. So your schedule, depending on, if you got to go to work, or if you're off. Like for me, I'm a teacher, so I got space. but also have to factor in, my family and doing things like we about to go out to eat in a second. So I told her uh, I'll be done by 1. So it's 12:33 now. So um, and so here's another little nugget for me. You got to figure out like your lifestyle and what you do, and be able to accomplish a few different things at one time. So, for instance, because I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, I'm a saxophonist, uh, entrepreneur, and all of those things, I make sure I get the most out of the time that I spend. So I could practice by myself without the camera on, and I do. Or I could work on a song without the camera on, or I could even um, work on putting my list together and work on uh, editing a video, whatever. But what I try to do too is when I go live, I try to give you value as well as cross something off of my list because I needed to practice. That's why I do this. Have done the shed sessions in the past. I know I need to touch my horn every day, and so I ended up turning it into a lesson and something that can benefit you. But it's also acting as marketing, and it's also engaging for my audience. And so I can also use that as an opportunity to, um, you know, bring you into my lifestyle and the world that I live in and operate in as a musician, an educator. And so it kind of helps, you know what I'm saying? And so, especially now when you're talking about, uh, being a musician and monetizing your music, it's very hard when you don't have a social presence and you have music that you want to release, but people haven't gotten the chance to know you. They haven't learned and got a good feel of you and your spirit. But if you're just one who just pops up, say, "Hey, come to my gig," or "Hey, buy my single," that's just not enough right now. It's 2024, so everybody is looking into posting content and stuff like that. So it's just where it is, where we are now. And I even heard that it was announced that you got to have so many views or listens before they can even start paying you on Spotify and these different music streaming sites. So that's something to think about too. So anyway, just think about no matter what industry you're in, you're gonna have to be able to do what you do and share it with an audience because you're taking people along with you through that journey and you're educating them way before you start selling something. So that's a little nugget I added in with the do. All right, so we thought about it, we wrote it down, and we doing it. All right, the fourth step is get results. All right, so the results come from the response you get. Now, think about if you're doing it privately, it's all about you evaluating, all right, from you working on practicing. Are you able to implement what you've practiced on in a playing experience? Are you able to play the new song that you learned on a gig? Are you able to, move that editing session? Let's say if you start working on a single, and then like what I did, I put on my list a few singles that I'm working to complete. So I've initially recorded the stuff. Now I need to go back and edit them. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm listening back to what I did and editing and fine tuning things. I might need to re-record some stuff, and I'm getting that done. And so um, that's after you've done the work, then you'll have results. You know what I'm saying? So you can push it to that next level. So those are like the four steps, right? Think about it, write it down, do it, and then you'll have results. Okay. When you're posting stuff and you're doing things, publicly post if it's you want to start an Instagram or you want to start a YouTube channel. Uh, you have all these ideas. Everybody has ideas, but you don't get results until you start doing something. And your feedback will come from your audience. It'll come from the response you get from the people who are engaging with your content. You know what I'm saying? And you can fine tune things at that point. Um, and then you'll be able to start it all over again. So as you do things and you get results, then you can you'll get more ideas and actually be able to take what you initially did to the next level or the next phase. You know what I'm saying? So even when I buy a track and then I will play over it, create melody over it, edit it, and then get it to the point where I will share it with others privately, or even people who are part of the academy. I share stuff I'm working on with them, and then they'll give me some feedback. And that's even happened on my YouTube channel. People have given me feedback from tracks that I'm working on, and they'll hear something. I'll be like, you know what, that's cool. I'm gonna implement that in. So, and even when I've done album covers or single artwork, I will share it with my audience, and then they give me feedback, and then I can use their feedback and kind of tweak and change things so I can just move it to the finish line. All right. And so think about this. Don't get caught up in trying to be perfect either. Just trying to just try to complete. And so I heard something really good. Also, it's not about being the best, but it's about being better. Okay? So we can all make an effort to be better. And it's not a competition. I'm not trying to be like nobody. I'm just trying to complete the work that I feel that God has put on my plate in my area of management. You know what I'm saying? What I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for my wife, my kids, and my business, my responsibilities as a teacher. So that's enough. That's enough. A band leader, that's a lot. So I don't have time to compare and try to compete, because the only competition is myself and my own word and my own ideas and stuff like that. So it's really a thing to where this is all for us, but you benefit from it. So the more organized and productive I am, then the more clear direction and even inspiration I am to you. You know what I'm saying? So don't get caught up when you're watching other people and you seeing what they're doing. Don't put pressure on yourself and misdirect your focus. Whereas you got to look at your own process. You got to think about what it is that you need. Where are you at this particular point? Do you want to be a better drummer? Do you want to be a better saxophonist, a better piano player? You want to play in church, or do you want to play on gigs, or do you want to do an album, or you want to do a single? What it is that you want, because you got to pay attention to your next step, and don't try to make a big jump because you're focusing on somebody else and what they are, where they are, because we all have different journeys, and there's so many different components that influence where a person is, and what a person's been through, that even is the roots that make it easy for them to do whatever they do. You never know. You got to hear their story. People don't know my story and why I do the things I do, but you can check out my book, The Christian Musician. Learn what your real gift is and how to succeed with and beyond your music, if you want to get deeper into that. Okay? So, all right. So that's available on Amazon. It's available on Audible as well if you want the audio book. And that's it. I just wanted to talk about those 4 steps, and hopefully that was helpful for you. I got to get off of here and go have some lunch with the family. But all is well. I hope y'all's year has been going well. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the hearts. And make sure you subscribe to Texas Tenor Academy on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, thank y'all for watching. And we will see you again on the next one. All right. Peace.